Hey, good afternoon, Redemption City Church. Raw pastoral thoughts here. These thoughts are not for social media. These thoughts are strictly for the core group members of Redemption City Church. Raw pastoral thoughts here. The Lord has done something in RCC that is very rare. The Lord has allowed us to be in community with a diverse group of people. I was at the prayer night a couple nights ago, and I was just looking around and just seeing the diversity, not just of ethnicity, diversity of upbringing, diversity of socioeconomic standing. The Lord has done that in Redemption City Church. That is a rare thing. Folks, we all have a default mechanism. When things get tough, when things are hard, when things aren't going our way, we often default back to what's comfortable. The Bible often calls this the old man, right? Put off the old man, because it's so easy for us to sort of resort to that default mechanism. Married couples, you understand this very well. You've seen this time and time again. Things get hard, things get difficult. It's sort of that default mechanism back to what we're used to, what we're comfortable with. Well, saints, when you're in a diverse community, you have to check that default mechanism. The reason why there are black churches everywhere and white churches everywhere and Asian churches everywhere, but you don't have a multiplicity of diverse churches is because typically within similar cultural groups, there is a default mechanism. So you might as well be around people that have the same default system that you have. However, when you're surrounded by diversity, when you're surrounded by people who have a different voice than you do, you have to check that default mechanism. And you have to pray to the Lord, Lord, allow me to resort to that which edifies my brother or sister in the Lord, and not that which I am most comfortable with, or that which more readily agrees with my own opinion. Look at the hand of providence of God's life. He has placed you in a community. Social media is not your community. It's not. God has placed you in a beautiful community of diverse voices. You have the opportunity, which many people will go their entire lives and not have that opportunity. You have the opportunity to learn from people who are so utterly different than you are. And if you just take the opportunity, it's a beautiful experience to learn from differences. To sort of follow in the footsteps of Jesus Christ. You know, Paul writes in Corinthians, and he talks about liberty. And in Corinthians, liberty is not the right to do something, right? It's my liberty. I can do this. Liberty is giving up our rights for the betterment of our brothers and sisters in the Lord. Liberty is, I could very well do that. That's my right to do that, but I'm going to hold off for the betterment of the saints in Christ. So look at your core group directory. Look at the diversity. You could sort of in your spare time reach out and say, you know what, brother, sister, help me to see life through your eyes. Help me to feel what you feel. Help me to sense what you sense. Help me understand where you're coming from. Or you could sort of spit on God's providence of placing you in this diverse community and sort of just keep resorting back to what's comfortable. Folks, it's not easy. It's not easy being in a diverse community because it's not comfortable. So I'm asking you to keep pressing on and being uncomfortable. Keep looking to the other and learn from them. Keep reaching out, keep stepping into a different world and learn from them. Again, social media is not your community. Listen, the disagreement of somebody who is your brother and sister in Christ is so much better for your soul than the agreement of someone who is across the country, some political pundit or podcaster whom you will never meet. God has placed you in a community to learn from people who are different than you. I pray we take advantage of that. That's what Scripture says. How do you love God, whom you've never seen, but your brother or sister whom you see every day, you sort of veer away from? So folks, listen, I just want you to observe God's providence. We're in a position that very few people get to be within. We're in a position to learn from the kaleidoscope of God's glory and beauty. We get a foretaste of heaven. While the world is scrambling, trying to understand other people, trying to grasp what they grasp, the Lord has given that to you. With every time you meet together, you have that. So saints, when the smoke clears, when the literal smoke clears, will Redemption City be a church that has a culture of dying to self for the sake of others? Will Redemption City be a church that has a culture of, I don't understand where you're coming from, but I will strive with all my might to understand. I will condescend. I will do what is written about Jesus Christ in Philippians. Though he was in the form of God, though he could do a whole bunch of different things, he decided to take on flesh. He decided to humble himself. I pray that's us. I pray we do what James says. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger. If I can take some pastoral liberty here, be slow to post. I want you guys to relish the community which you're in. You get to hear diverse voices whenever you want to. So look at the directory. Text someone. Call someone. Say, brother or sister, help me understand. Bring me into your world. That is gospel community. That is Redemption City Church. The community that God has placed you in. The community that gets blessed by your presence. And the community that gets hurt in a very real way by what we say or don't say, by what we do or don't do. When the smoke clears, will people see Redemption City Church as a church that stood for self-sacrificing unity when all the world around them was crumbling? Let's be that church, y'all. Lean into it. Love you all. See you soon.